Intros are getting better. That's all I know. We're about to kick up another one.
Are you familiar with Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah.
Do you remember when he said, "Can you dig it?"
Yeah.
That's how I feel right now
All right.
about digs.
Oh, perfect entry. What a segue. The segue king. I don't even know if that was a segue. That was just like a pun. That was an incredible pun. Welcome to the show. One last take. I'm your host with the most, Rubismo the Gizmo. Joined once again by the wonderful, the brilliant, the wise. What else did you put on your Facebook profile?
Facebook? I don't know about Facebook.
You don't have a Facebook?
No, I don't.
Are you still on MySpace?
I am not.
Friendster?
What's that?
Zynga? Do you have a Microsoft Word page that you print out and hand out at nightclubs and say, check me out?
I do not.
Okay. Well, would you like to introduce yourself to our legions of fans?
Hello, fans. I am Psycho Gino.
Oh, that was underwhelming after that huge intro I gave you. You know what? I would break it down more, but there's no time. Everyone tuned in today. It's time for an NFL recap. It's time for us to go back and look at exactly what happened this week. Another incredible week. All right, let's just start off by saying that another incredible week. Some games they lived up to the hype. They lived up to my billing, okay, because I predicted some games would be sensational. And some games were trash. Absolute garbage. And so I think the easiest way to go down through this is to just go the same way we started this past week.
Okay.
Because we made certain proclamations.
Yes.
Some of us were right. Some of us were wrong.
I don't know.
I know.
Fans, I don't know how this is going to turn out. He knows. I do not.
I do know. We're not even going to start in America. We're going to start overseas, across the pond. Carolina, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I think I got this wrong.
What are you? It was predicted by you.
And you said
I more followed your lead on this one.
Oh my!
You took Tampa Bay and 2.5. I took 2.5, but I thought that was turnovers from Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
What happened?
First off, as we go down this list, please do not try to take away your L's. You made these decisions on your own.
Oh, I got it wrong. There's no doubt I got this wrong.
All right. Don't say, oh, I followed your lead, or you persuaded me, you were convincing. Nah. With that being said, I hate Jameis Winston. And if you listen to the last recording, I think I said something along the lines of, he's probably going to screw me over.
You've had a dislike for Jameis Winston ever since he was given some crab legs down in Florida State that you're jealous about. You don't like the fact that he succeeded as a college player.
That is not it.
And you've held that grudge since then all the way up till now.
The grudge is my eyes when I want to be entertained.
I've kind of been holding a grudge for no reason against Kyle Allen because Kyle Allen to me represents everything that Carolina kind of wants. On their subconscious, their id.
Yeah.
Is that right? Their id wants Kyle Allen.
I told you this.
What is Aaron? I'm hearing a popping.
What is this, Aaron?
You're popping on me, Aaron. Is it something I'm doing or is it something you're doing? Because I'm gonna blame you.
Come on, Aaron.
I didn't say it was your fault. I said I was gonna blame you. Well, hey, figure it out, okay? I'm not. This is one take, Rubin. One take, okay? Let's hope that doesn't keep happening, man. Yeah, I think Kyle Allen, I've picked against the Panthers, I think, every single week. They have not gotten the job done. They've been...
they have gotten the
I'm sorry,
job
they
done.
have gotten the job done. I picked against them because I didn't believe they would get the job done.
Right.
They have performed very well, and I don't think that their offense is scintillating. I don't think that they're doing anything special.
They are not.
I think that Christian McCaffrey's just been tremendous.
MVP candidate.
Although I told you he wouldn't perform well in this particular matchup.
2 touchdowns. I'm okay with that.
I think he had like 30-something yards rushing. Is that right?
2 touchdowns.
I mean, again, Lendale White had games with 2 touchdowns. I don't think he ever really performed amicably.
If your off day is 2 touchdowns, it's a good day.
It worked out well for him. Here's a question. There's chatter about Cam Newton not coming back. I've actually heard whispers in the bushes. I've got the birds out. They've come back and told me some things about the Denver Broncos might be interested in Cam Newton. So what would that mean for the Carolina Panthers? 1, to lose him. Or 2, to have him and not start him. How do we square that circle?
I've already told you. The Panthers should move on from Cam Newton.
Right.
He should never start for them again. There is nothing else to be said in my opinion. I've said this since the very first recording when you mentioned Super Cam.
Yeah, yeah. Well, again, I think my allegiance to Cam, one of my best friends in the NFL.
Should stop.
We've spoken multiple times on the phone.
Multiple times.
And my allegiance to him is probably why I've been against Kyle Allen.
Mm-hmm.
But Kyle himself hasn't done anything wrong. He's been a fantastic replacement level quarterback.
Right,
I think he's
right.
done what he's needed to do. Congrats to the Panthers. Buccaneers, what are you doing? Chris Godwin, thank you for that game. Helped my fantasy squad for sure.
Both receivers.
You told me it was back and forth. You said it was going to be a Mike Evans game.
Mike Evans also had 90-something yards.
I think it was like 9 for 93 or something.
What I said was Godwin, Evans, Godwin. But it didn't matter because both receivers stepped up. What I was talking about was Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen. We will get to that
We're not on that
later.
game yet. We're not on that game yet.
Because I can't wait. I can't wait to get it.
I can't wait to get to this next game because it has the man that
Whoa. We're not done.
What are we talking about?
Jameis Winston is
Jeez.
awful. He is terrible. The man is, what you were talking about, Tom Brady seeing ghosts and ducking down.
He was.
That's Jameis Winston. The boy is, what did I say? Dumpster juice.
Hold on.
That man is just terrible.
First of all, you said Natalie Portman was dumpster juice.
Well, add Jameis and Natalie to have a
Don't you dare.
a
Don't you
relationship
dare.
and have her dumpster juice fire baby
Don't you dare.
that fumbles and stumbles through lines and looks basic.
No, some of the interceptions weren't his fault. That's just
Which one? The
plain
one
and
that
simple.
Luke Kuechly?
There were a couple I think that bounced off hands that I can't blame him for, but Peyton Manning says you sign off on every pass you throw. He's had a turnover problem since college. Great leader of men, great fire. I love his never say die attitude. He also has a never don't throw it into coverage attitude, which he needs to get rid of because
Reuben,
it's killing him. It's killing him.
You give Pat Mahomes a hard time. Please tell me one thing that Jameis Winston does very well
Inspires the men
on the field.
on the field.
What does he do
Inspires the
very
men.
well?
He doesn't. He doesn't
On
quit.
the other side, you're right.
He doesn't.
You're right.
He doesn't put his head down. He doesn't beg for flags from
should.
the official. He keeps firing. He keeps competing. That's what he does well on the
He's
field.
an idiot.
He's
On the field.
He has, you know what? Sometimes overconfidence is not a good thing, and the pocket's collapsing. He needs to make a play. It used to work in college. It hasn't worked well now. And if anything, I blame Bruce Arians. He's supposed to be a quarterback whisperer. Whisper then.
To be honest,
Open your lips. Start talking.
I want to be honest. I want to ask you something seriously.
Go ahead.
Why has Jameis received such a long leash?
I don't know if it's really a long leash. I think you look at the talent around him. He hasn't had a running game since he's been in NFL. The muscle hamster was the best he had, and he's out of football right now. So a running game is important. You look at the people he's being compared to, his contemporaries that came out the same draft class as him. It's a terrible draft class. I saw a video online. It was a terrible draft class. And I think the time for him to be cut or moved on from was probably this past year, but they brought in a new head coach who was going to work with him. And so that kind of extended his duration. We've seen the positive side of Jameis. You can't pretend that you haven't seen Jameis Winston go out and play, throw 5 touchdowns, throw 400 yards, and look like a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. And then the next day or the next quarter turn into a guy who looks like he should be at the local flag football game.
But that doesn't mean anything to me. I've seen Trevor Siemian have good games. It
true.
happens. So
I think there's some stat like there's been like 30 400-yard games or something, and Jameis has half of them in the last couple years.
yeah,
Like
they're behind and they have to throw.
I've seen the plus side. I see the good side on Jameis. I'm willing to believe that he can somehow reduce those negatives. But
What was the plus side watching Sundays? The early game, what was the plus side when you were watching Jameis out there?
that I knew it was over soon and I could get to the rest
No,
of the
no,
games.
no,
That
no,
was the
no,
plus
no.
side.
That
It
is not a
It was a
plus
bad
side.
start. Again, the first pick was a bad pick. It was the first play of the game. That can happen to anyone. Brett Favre's first pass in the NFL was a pick
Do not
six.
compare Jameis to Brett.
Brett Favre leads the NFL in interceptions lifetime.
Yep.
Hall of Famer.
What about his wins?
1 ring.
What about his wins?
He's got a lot.
Come on, man.
He's got
I'm
a
not
lot.
about to argue this. You know Jameis is not Brett Favre.
I'm not saying he's Brett Favre. I'm just saying give him a leash. What is he, like 22?
No.
Someone fact check that. I don't know how old
Jameis is nearly 30. I bet
No.
he's about 27, 28 years old.
Jameis Winston is nowhere near 30 years old.
What age do you think? You think he's 22?
I think he's probably about 24, maybe right in that area.
Man.
According to online, he's only 25.
Oh, my God.
He's only 25. He hasn't even hit his peak. He hasn't even hit his peak
will
yet.
not peak.
Wait till he gets
college.
wait till he gets his man body. Wait
His-
till he gets his man body and gets strength again. His brain hasn't finished developing. You're selling him like he's a Russian tennis star. Oh, he's 18. He's
cut
done.
him. And where does he go?
Oh, there's a lot of teams right now that could use a quarterback.
Who?
Tennessee. There it is. Next game.
I
Speaking
wouldn't
of
say he's a
quarterbacks that I
quarterback.
have claims on, I claimed this quarterback was the best quarterback in the NFL 2 years ago.
Russell?
Danger Russ. Seattle versus the Cleveland Browns. I told you 2 years ago Russell Wilson was the best quarterback in football. You laughed at me. You said it was a joke. You said I knew nothing about what I was talking about. And every game since then, he's gone out there and proved it. No running game of significance. No A-plus
They
receiver
run the ball
talent.
the most in the league. What are
Yeah,
you talking
they
about?
do, but no running game of significance. You can't name one running back to start 16 games. They have no significant receiving talent. Their defense has
Dang,
fallen
Tyler
down.
Lockett is nothing?
I love Tyler Lockett. He's not Julio Jones.
What?
He's not Julio Jones.
You don't need Julio Jones.
You don't need Julio Jones, as Atlanta found out.
Right.
Even with Julio
So
Jones.
Tyler Lockett is a very good receiver.
if
And then
Ty-
they had Doug Baldwin before he retired.
Russell made them good. Russell made them great. The Tyler Lockett would be sitting here with you and I talking about football if it wasn't for Russell Wilson carrying him. Okay?
I disagree.
Russell Wilson was tremendous in this game. His durability, his football IQ,
Yeah.
his decisions making on the field and off the field. I can't name anything or any quarterback that does things a more wide breadth of things as well as Russell Wilson.
Tom Brady
Name something he does better.
does better than Russell. He
You
wins
know-
Super Bowl
you know-
titles.
Yeah, he's given titles. His first 3 rings are
wins.
a lie.
He
Blood
wins.
diamonds. He
He
cheated
wins.
to 2. And he doesn't really do anything. Other teams fail. The point here being, the Seattle Seahawks won again. They looked great on Sunday.
Who do we take?
We took Seattle minus one. It was easy work.
Okay.
Is there anything that you took away from the Browns? Because you hated Odell going into this game, and he looked pretty good to me.
I said if you had something better, possibly roll with it. But at the same time, it's Odell Beckham. You have to start him. Start him is what I said.
He made a great catch. It was like a 40-yard catch over the
He
defender.
had more drops, by the way.
Receivers are going to have drops. T.O. had a lot of drops. Best receiver ever. But I don't know if there's much.
Jerry Rice isn't the best receiver ever.
No, not the best receiver ever. Jerry Rice admitted to using Stickum. I don't support cheaters. The Seattle Seahawks have Chris Carson.
Randy Moss wasn't better than T.O.
I play when I want to play. I don't support quitters.
T.O. quit.
Never once. Never. He played in Buffalo as hard as he could with Trent Edwards at quarterback coming out of Stanford, that bum. And then he played in Cincinnati opposite Ocho Cinco. Had a great mime routine.
Ocho Cinco.
The Seattle Seahawks, Chris Carson's been very active recently, and they just keep feeding him. You got to love this if you're one, a Chris Carson owner in fantasy, but two, if you're a Seattle Seahawks fan, because it means they're sticking to what their ID is, right?
Right.
Run the ball, grind out the clock, and it really works well for the play action. Is there a weakness in the Seahawks?
If I had to pick a weakness, thinking about their team, I would say their secondary doesn't scare me.
Yeah.
I would say that the secondary.
I completely agree. It is beatable if Jadeveon Clowney, that front seven, doesn't create enough pressure. They can be beat deep, and thankfully, no one's exploited it yet. On the other side of the ball, Cleveland Browns. Nick Chubb are his yards.
No. They were exposed week 1. You told me you made a good point when you said John Ross and Andy Dalton roasted the Seahawks, and that's why I said, you know what, OBJ may have a good game.
He did. We actually had a friendly wager on this one.
Right. That's right. We got to keep track of those. That's right.
Because the question was Odell Beckham. You don't like Odell Beckham.
You
don't like his swag.
That. I like his swag.
You did not like the fact that he got to hang out with models in France.
What? I don't care about that.
All you ever want to talk about is what was on the pizza box in the picture in the bed when he was with the model.
We know what it is.
We don't know what it is.
We know.
We don't know what it is.
We know.
Here's what I do know. We had a friendly wager that
Yes.
he would end up being a top 20 wide receiver.
Yeah, PPR. I would imagine not standard, but we can. I mean, either we can check it out either way.
And you want to guess what number he finished?
Nope.
18, just like I predicted, just as I foretold. Odell Beckham, a great game. Again, now one catch was like a 35, 40-yarder, and it was landing on top of receiver. I'm still not certain it was a catch, but it looked like his elbow may have dragged just enough. All in all, a good game for him. And more importantly, they're trying to get him the ball. He's the type of player, one catch, and he's gone. Like, he has that kind of talent. I think he's the most talented receiver in the NFL.
And I still disagree with you.
Yeah, that's fair. You're wrong, but that's fair. You're welcome to be.
I got that one wrong. I
Yeah.
think it's the first thing you've beaten me at so far.
You know what else I beat you?
I said so far. I don't know.
So far.
I don't know what else we got. Don't ruin anything.
Let's go to the next game.
Let's
go to the next game.
let's.
Philadelphia.
Philly flag was fly.
Fly Eagles fly at the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah,
Philly getting 3.5. You foolishly took the Eagles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I honestly did not remember. Okay.
Yeah, you foolishly took the Eagles. I, using logic and reason,
Right.
took the Eagles.
Oh.
Thinking that they were going to perform.
So I foolishly took them, and you took them with logic and reason.
You did it off of gut and instinct. I did it off of facts, and it was my fault. It was my fault for believing.
I like that part.
It was my fault for believing that the secondary for the Eagles was going to show up this
Whoa,
game.
that is your fault.
What on earth were they doing? What was they doing?
Wait, did I pick the Eagles to win and cover?
Yes, you did. You're rethinking that. And you're like, what the heck was I thinking?
No, I think you know what. Did you see Zach Brown? Remember when I told you Zach Brown made the quote about they wanted to keep
Kirk
the ball?
Cousins? Yeah.
Did you see that the Eagles cut him?
Did they?
They cut that man.
Huh. I wonder what his next quote will be.
Did you see the reporters talking to him? He didn't want anything to do with it.
That's amazing. That's that's so amazing.
They're like, well, you said that you want to. He's like, oh, man, I don't want to talk about. He didn't want to say anything.
There's nothing you can say after a game like that.
Nope.
Stephon Diggs. Let's not bury the lead.
That's right.
Yeah.
Didn't I say it was going to be a Stephon Diggs game? You know what? I don't know why I'm
Yeah.
asking you. I did.
You predicted he'd have a better game than Odell. It was the best game of the season. Go figure. It was tremendous. There's no.
What was
two
our
ways
side
about
bet? What was the side bet?
I don't think there was anything at stake. It was just a gentleman's wager.
As far as I knew, it was a Diggs week,
You thought it 100% was a Diggs week.
and you see.
I thought Odell had it in the bag.
And you said you thought it was a Thielen. And I was like, no, it's
well,
going to be a
Thielen
Diggs.
started strong.
Yeah, but
And then that was it. then the Eagles decided to put every cornerback and safety on Thielen.
and Diggs beats
And-
the one-on-one, and that's what I was thinking.
To be fair, though,
What?
Diggs had some big drops in this game. Despite the touchdowns, he also had some big drops in
Big
this
drops?
game.
Did he?
Third down drops. And it went unnoticed because of his major numbers. But I saw it, and I watched it on Red Zone. And they showed many of the drops. It didn't matter. It was a great game. There's nothing you could say.
I can say that. I was right.
The Vikings are playing well. They look like a
Tomorrow.
strong team.
Yeah, because they're passing. They're not the Seahawks. They can do better than just pound the ball. They can pass.
Dalvin Cook had a bad game, too.
Because the ball was in the air.
I understand why he had a bag. I'm just saying he was the Mr.
And
Everything.
he didn't have a touchdown. I think he had a total. He had a good.
He got a
good game.
touchdown.
Did he?
Yeah, because Alexander Madison fell at the 1, and then they pulled him out to put Dalvin Cook. I know that because I was playing against Dalvin Cook, begging for Alexander Madison to
Nah, man, you got to put the starter in.
Look,
Madison, good run. You had your chance. Get in there. Get in there, Cook.
Let the young buck learn. That's what I said.
I think he has a touchdown from last week. So.
Oh, I think he does, but it was on my opponent's bench, so I wanted that number to be big. I don't know if there's really much to break down. Philadelphia, 3-3, they head to Dallas this coming week. That's going to be a really good game. Last time they had the nails put to them was when they were heading to Green Bay, and they responded. So we'll see how they do this coming week. But the Eagles are a little disappointing. Miles Sanders caught a touchdown. I think he led the team in receiving yards. Alshon Jeffrey had a very good game.
Told you play Alshon.
Yeah, they played well. I just something's missing from the Eagles. Something is missing from them. There is a magic that they don't have right now, and I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see as the Eagles go forward. Minnesota, what's your take on them?
Well, their defense looks good. I like their pass rush. And, well, it's really about Kirk Cousins. I think that he looks better if he's passing the ball, and they can't run the ball through Dalvin over and over again.
Are they Super Bowl contenders?
Absolutely. 100%.
I think as long as Kirk Cousins is your quarterback, you're not really a Super Bowl contender, but time will tell. Next game.
Eli Manning, Rex Grossman.
Eli Manning led the league in fourth quarter touchdowns for a season. Set the record one year.
Rex Grossman.
Led the league in passer rating. That year had 6 games over 120 passer rating. Also had about 5 games under 50. But whatever.
If the Vikings get home field, watch out.
Oh, we'll see. Cincinnati, Baltimore. We're dragging on this. We got to go faster. I didn't realize these games that were trash were still good. Cincinnati, Baltimore. You, again, took Baltimore to win and also Baltimore to cover the 10.5 point spread.
Yeah, and I think they did. They didn't cover.
I don't think they covered this one. No, it was 17-23.
Yeah, they didn't cover. What did you do?
The same thing. Again, I don't think we disagreed for a few games there.
Good.
So there was no hay being made here. Ravens, what's your take? Anything special?
Nothing.
Lamar Jackson ran for 150 something yards. It was ridiculous. I remember when he came out, Michael Vick said he might be faster and a better runner, and I didn't want to believe it because Michael Vick is that guy.
He's not a faster runner than Vic.
Mm,
He's fast,
he's fast.
but he's not that fast.
Michael Vick was quick.
He was quick.
But I don't know if he was fast straight line speed. Lamar looks like he could just gallop. And part of me feels like they haven't even unleashed him. I don't know why. Part of me feels like there's something that they haven't shown us yet, and Lamar hasn't actually gone full Lamar. I need a nickname for him soon.
What else can he do besides run and throw?
I don't know. He looks very good, but something in me tells me that there's a performance that I'm not prepared for, and I don't know what that is yet.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but I need a nickname for him. Action Jackson is kind of played out.
It is. I think it's Steven Jackson.
Oh, yeah, Steven Jackson. But yeah, we'll figure out something. On the other side of the ball, your Cincinnati Bengals.
Do not call them that.
Have they won a game this year? I don't think they've won a game. I think they're 0-6.
I don't actually know.
I think they're 0-6 now, unless they've had a bye week. They look terrible. Joe Mixon can't run anymore. He led the league, the AFC in rushing last year. He's doing nothing.
Isn't that crazy?
Offensive line, right? You got to learn to appreciate the trenches, and they're not doing it. There's honestly nothing on that team of note. I have heard talks about they have to trade A.J. Green.
I don't know why. I'm not trading A.J. Green.
Here's the question. Are you winning a Super Bowl with this team if you're the Bengals?
No, they're 0-6. No, you're not winning a Super Bowl.
Do you think they're going to win one next year?
So you're saying trade him while he's valuable?
I thought it was ridiculous when I first heard it. The more I think about it, the more I start to think to myself, maybe.
But they're not going to get much back.
He's 31, coming off an injury. He's probably got 2 good years left.
No, he's going to get hurt every year.
Oh, wow. That's a hard take on it.
Let's say Cincinnati calls the Rams and they say, hey, Les Snead, general manager of the Los Angeles Rams. Hey, Les, we are looking to shop A.J. Green. We wanted to see if you're interested. What do you think we can do? I think he would say, 4th round pick, maybe 3rd. I think that's the best you're going to get from A.J.
Right.
Green.
Well, Antonio Brown got a 3rd and a 5th.
And Antonio Brown is still in his prime.
Yeah.
Does not get hurt like A.J.
Nope.
He's the best receiver in the league.
Yep.
3rd and a 5. Dang, I should say a 5th.
Yeah.
I should have said a 5th.
That's why you're not the GM for the Rams. You're giving up too much for A.J.
If it's no, actually, they play it low key. Okay, that sounds good. We'll get back to you. And then
right.
Jubilee wants the phone.
We're going to talk about the Rams GM coming up here. Some action has happened. We need a breaking news drop too soon. Aaron, can we put a note there? Breaking news drop.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I think this game, it's self-explanatory. Next game, New Orleans, Jacksonville.
Who dat?
Yeah, we took New Orleans to win, took New Orleans to cover. They were getting 2.5.
Remember,
fear of
Kamara, but Kamara played, so.
I couldn't tell. They wrapped him up.
He was catching the ball, and he was keeping them somewhat honest.
He was not Alvin Kamara.
No, he wasn't.
Is there concern at all that they might be thinking about resting Kamara to get him 100% for when Drew Brees returns?
No.
No concern whatsoever, because that ankle, he looked gimpy. I mean, they've got a bye week coming up week 9.
Play through the pain.
So at Chicago, force it against Khalil.
Yeah.
All right. Is there a quarterback controversy happening?
Where?
In New Orleans.
No.
So Teddy Two Gloves goes undefeated and no concern at all.
Nope.
But Kyle Allen goes undefeated and Cam's got to go.
Cam's garbage.
All right. Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars, I told you, Sharknado, DJ Chark, would be getting the coverage from Marcus Lattimore.
I didn't care.
Marshawn Lattimore. And he did. He got shadowed across the field, side to side, into the slot. I think once or twice he was in the zone, they said, and he caught a couple passes. It was a bad game for him. It was a really bad game for him. It was my biggest fear. I think the Saints are legit. I think Lattimore is legit. I think it's something to be concerned about.
I don't know. Your opinion is suspect because you thought the Niners were not legit, and we'll get to that later.
Oh, we're getting to that, and I still might hold that opinion. But anything you want to take away from Gardner Minshew's performance?
I'm not a big fan of Gardner. I like the off the field stuff. I like the stash and the swag, but as far as on the field, I'm not impressed.
The stash and the swag. I like the way you said that.
Yeah, that's about it.
Next game is the Redskins and the Dolphins. What in the world happened to the competitive spirit of an NFL franchise? This team's getting annihilated.
Yeah.
This team is getting blown out.
Yeah.
Just as they wanted to do when they decided to put Josh Rosen as their quarterback. They said, lead us.
You really think they're tanking?
they are intentionally trying to get the number one pick. And Josh Rosen, in fact, is going to be the first quarterback you heard to lead two teams to the number one pick back-to-back years. So,
but one pick does not change everything.
It could. It absolutely could. You could
If
trade
you're
that one pick for
away,
no. You can get a franchise caliber player. If that one pick is Peyton Manning, if that one pick is a Cam Newton, if that one pick is an Andrew Luck, someone on that level, that absolutely makes a difference. Carson Wentz changed the face of Philadelphia.
No, he didn't. Nick Foles did.
No, Nick Foles kind of rode the coattails. And Carson Wentz is our MVP. The point here being, Miami Dolphins need a lot. You can either draft the next player. If you can find, the next Russell Wilson,
Deshaun
Watson, Patrick Mahomes, so on, Mitchell Trubisky, whatever you want.
Stop.
If you can find that guy, that's worth it, right? What's Russell Wilson worth right now in the draft?
You know what? Russell is the reason why they're winning.
What's Aaron Rodgers worth in a draft? Like he's worth 2 or 3 or 4 first-round picks.
I don't trust Miami coaches to actually take a guy that talented and keep him healthy and teach him right.
Neither do I, which is why it's also worth trading. And you could get 2 to 3 or 4 or 5 picks. Start rebuilding a line. Start drafting running backs that could catch. I love that they put Ryan Fitzpatrick in at the end of this game.
Me too.
He almost won it for them.
Yes, he did.
And they declared Josh Rosen the starter for next week. I said, Fitzpatrick.
Why?
That was too close. You almost won that game.
That's true.
What are you doing? Fantastic. You said start scare. Oh, that's right. Want to go over who won this game?
Yeah.
We both picked Washington to win. That was easy work.
Okay. Okay.
You picked Miami to cover. They were given 4 points. What was the score?
Bam.
17-16. Oh, good gracious.
Bam.
This should not have been that close.
Bam, baby. I hope you tallied these up correctly.
That was a last.
Did you tally these
drive.
up?
Yeah, I tallied it up.
Did you mark them?
I have it. I have it split.
Okay.
It was a successful pick by you.
It was.
A lucky pick, because, again, it should not
It was not luck.
I thought Rosen would play the whole game. I thought Miami was on
I didn't think it
the
mattered.
tanking path.
I thought the Redskins would win. Dolphins would cover.
Scary Terry, a.k.a.
No, I said
F1.
Star Terry.
Tremendous.
No. Yeah.
Tremendous.
2 tubs.
Only 4 catches.
Century mark.
It was a great game for him. I like it. I heard his schedule is terrible coming up.
And then it gets better? Or no, is it just bad?
I think it's bad for like 2 or 3 weeks in a row. After this, you have San Francisco, then Minnesota, then Buffalo.
That's good.
Then a bye.
That's okay.
So,
not good.
And then you go Jets, Detroit, Carolina. It might get tricky these next 3 weeks.
These are all good matchups.
They're possibly good matchups. I don't want to see San Francisco right now. They look good.
No,
their defense
I do
looks
because
good.
they're going to put up points and they're going
Like
to pass
those
the
Ram
ball.
receivers did.
Rams.
We're going to get to that in a second.
Boy.
We'll get to that in a second.
Boy.
Finish off this game. Anything special about the Dolphins?
Special.
The silence says it all.
No. Yeah.
Anything special about the Redskins?
Yeah,
McLaurin, that's it. Great rookie.
And AP looked okay against the Dolphins.
Yeah, he looked okay. I wish he had scored on that. He caught a pass there.
Yeah, come on, AP.
Get in there, Adrian.
You got a Hall of Fame career to boost.
Yeah, I like it. I like the numbers. Keep stacking those numbers. I like
right, like Emmett.
Like Emmett. Next game, Houston, Kansas City. And I told you this would be a barn burner. I loved it going into it.
Yeah, this was game of the week.
This was game of the week. Deshaun Watson coming into this season was my prediction for MVP of the league. I thought it was time to shine.
Okay.
He has done that so far. And the only game that has hurt him, I think, is Jacksonville, week 2.
I think he had
But that was a
two bad games
game.
in a row.
He's had lesser scoring games, but he also took an L against the Saints, and I don't think he deserved that.
That was not
Monday
his
night.
fault.
Yeah, I don't want to blame him.
He showed up.
He balled out. He showed up again this week. He showed up again.
Yeah, they won.
Yeah.
What did we do?
We both picked Kansas City, and we both picked Kansas City to cover. I mean, the Chiefs were due for a bounce back, right? Your boy, your homeboy,
Tyreek? That's what I want to talk about. Tyreek floating when he caught that ball for the touchdown.
That was a prayer pass. It was a throw it up in the air into triple coverage.
Yeah.
And hope my guy can do something special.
And he did.
Isn't he just coming off of like a clavicle injury?
He looked fine.
Going behind the sternum.
You don't put him out there unless he's ready to ball.
I have him on a fantasy squad.
What's his nickname? Tyreek what?
Isn't he Cheetah?
Tyreek.
Oh, you're talking about the Freak?
Tyreek. Well, he is, yes, a cheetah, faster than
that's
but he's also Tyreek the Freak. He's a freak. He's a freak. He's super freaky.
He was great. And not only just to catch it, but to then take it and leap into the end zone for the touchdown. It was wonderful to see him back. It absolutely is wonderful to see him back. My homeboy.
What about him?
Excuses for their failure. Go ahead.
What? I don't have any excuses. I thought that was a good game.
You thought that was a good game.
Yeah.
They put up 24 points.
Right.
He hadn't scored less than 25 points any game in his career until last week.
So?
And now he's done it back-to-back weeks at home.
Yeah.
If you that guy,
They're running the ball. They're scoring. They're going for it on 4th down. The Chiefs' defense is terrible.
Carlos Hyde looked good.
Yeah, because they're running the ball. Will Fuller had. Let's not forget. Will Fuller dropped 2 or 3 touchdowns.
2 of them for sure.
2
3 was questionable.
for sure. 3. I'm like, Will, what are you doing, Will?
He's trying to fail.
He's had suspect hands his entire career, but not this many drops in one game. Come on, man.
The Texans had one drive that was 8 minutes long, and that was longer than Mahomes had the ball the entire second half.
And that's how you beat him.
I remember Peyton Manning not having the ball a very long time. The idea was keep him on the bench. Keep him on the bench.
You do that to really good quarterbacks.
You do, but he overcame because he's that guy. Why is Mahomes not overcoming? The MVP?
Did Peyton do it? Did he overcome in his second starting year? Or exactly, he was a seasoned vet.
Well, he went 13-3 his second year.
Can you imagine how good Mahomes is going to be when he is like year 6 and 7?
I'm going to be honest. I really can't because you guys have put him on the echelon of the
You
greatest.
guys, I think he's
You
good.
and the people of your ilk have put him at the highest possible magnitude
I have not.
of greatness.
I have not.
He's changing the game.
I did not say that.
Every time this guy rolls out to the left or right, whoa, that's only Mahomes can do that. And I'm turning around and I'm seeing guys every single game doing that exact same thing. I'm over the excuses. I'm over all the reasons that he's failing. Get the job done.
If you could start right now, franchise,
Right.
quarterback,
Yep.
who are you taking? Number 1.
Of every quarterback currently in the NFL.
Yeah, man.
At
Like
their
a
current
fantasy
age.
time, yeah. At
Russell-
their current age.
Russell Wilson.
You still take Russell
Yeah.
over these younger quarterbacks.
Russell's young.
No.
Yeah.
How old do you think he is?
I think he's 31.
Come on, man. You're going to take him over a 23-year-old quarterback?
I've seen proven performance from Russell in biggest moments of the game. I've not seen that from Patrick Mahomes. I've seen him come small in the biggest moments of the game. That much I know. I've seen him come up small. Russell Wilson, 30 years old, born in 88.
My God.
The day before me. Even more reason for me to like. Didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. Now I know. Yeah, better quarterback. Quarterbacks are playing till, 40 now? So I get 10 years of the best quarterback in football who's got clutch gene.
Why take 10 when
durability.
you could take 18?
I don't know if he's durable. You said that with Andrew Luck. What happened?
You don't even know who I would take. I didn't even tell you.
You know who was drafted the same year as Russell Wilson?
Who?
Andrew
a lot
Luck
of guys were.
And RG3.
Yeah. Look what happened to them.
Careers can be fickle.
Yeah, well, Russell gets down.
Who would you take?
What do you mean?
The
Russell
number,
or...
No, your quarterback. You said you're
Me?
taking... Yeah.
I'm taking Mahomes.
All right. Well,
I'm taking Mahomes.
all right. Well, you take
But
it. You can
if I'm
catch
number
the-
2 and Mahomes goes, I'm taking Watson.
All right.
I'm not taking Russell.
You can take the guys who haven't proven anything. That's fine.
Yeah,
I don't
they're
mind
young.
that.
I'm fine with that.
Russell won a Super Bowl when he was young.
Yeah, he had a great team around him.
That couldn't do anything till he arrived.
No,
They did
that
nothing till he
defense, man. Come on, let's move on. Let's.
Kansas City, still a very good team. Still explosive on offense.
Of course.
Are they still your Super Bowl favorites out of the AFC?
Nope. I will make changes as the as the season moves along. It is no longer Rams Chiefs. They have both been exposed.
They have both been exposed. Texans, are they a real Super Bowl contender?
Absolutely, but they were always a Super Bowl contender.
That defense and that coaching has me scared. I think the running game looked good against Kansas City. It's not looked good against everyone else.
They needed Melvin Gordon.
Oh my God! Not according to them when they said we're good at running back. This is the same ignorant franchise that told Peyton Manning no thanks when he was leaving Indianapolis. That we got Matt Schaub. We're good at quarterback. That's this ignorant Houston Texan franchise.
That wasn't Bill O'Brien.
It's the franchise. It emanates throughout them. And speaking of franchises emanating, I'll get to the Chargers soon. I'll get to the Chargers in a minute.
Yeah, we will.
Next game.
Yeah. Wait. So we both took Chiefs. Okay.
Yeah.
2 L's. Okay.
2 L's. It's not a good week for us. There were a lot of games that felt like they should have gone one way that didn't. This one was the most conflicted for me, and you'll listen to the recording.
Yeah, I'm fine with this.
Next game, your game. San Francisco against your St. Louis Rams.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
because
not
they brought
funny.
that
not
St.
funny.
Louis performance out
That's not funny.
I wasn't sure if it was Sean McVay or Jeff Fisher on the sideline.
Oh my God! You know why?
Why?
What did I tell you? You know what? You be silent for a second.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
I told you I was worried about these Los Angeles Rams losing to the 49ers. Why? Because of the pass rush and because I don't like Goff. The boy is not good when he's being pressured. And those boys up front and the O-line of the Rams is suspect. As of now, they just made a trade today, which is good news.
Breaking news.
Yes, we'll get around that later. I do not like Goff. I do not like Goff. And without Ty Gurley back there and Malcolm Brown and Darrell Henderson.
Darrell looked good. He looked kind of explosive.
Well, because they're not worried about the running game.
Compared to Malcolm Brown.
Yeah, and Malcolm looks slow.
How did he not get in from the one? How did they have the ball? And just when it comes to the battle of the trenches, that's mano y mano.
Yeah,
that's man versus man.
That's not just Malcolm Brown who lost. Our old lineman got beat up too.
That's all season.
They got pushed back.
2 years ago, they signed Whitworth from Cincinnati.
Yeah,
as
it was
left
good.
tackle.
He should have retired last year, but yeah.
Well, he wanted to go out with the ring. If your coach would have coached right, if Todd Gurley's knees
It's
would have
funny
healed
when
up.
he's my coach and when he's your local Los Angeles Rams team.
Right, because there's a swag that comes with LA that doesn't come with St. Louis, and they walked out there looking like a
Have
dry
you ever
barbecue.
met Nelly? Nelly has swag.
Where is Nelly right now?
Swagging somewhere. Wherever he's at, he's swagging right now.
You know what? He's polishing off that ring he bought after the Super Bowl. I want to buy a ring too. Okay, I want to buy a ring, and if I keep having to watch this awful O-line try to protect King Godfrey, if this
He
were
is no longer king.
He's not anymore. He's been assassinated. That line was so bad that as a king, he has been killed. That's it. He's done for. He's out. He's over. I'm over it. I'm so over the failures being thrown at his feet. The receivers aren't getting open. My Cooper Kupp didn't show up like I want him to. Robert Woods, I said coming to this game. That's enough about the Rams.
You said this was going to be a Robert Woods game.
I said this was a big game. I thought King Godfrey said you've got to throw perfect, protect him, and he's going to sling.
Who'd you take, by the way? I want to hear this.
I took the Rams to win.
Exactly.
You took the Niners as a traitor would.
As a realist,
I took the Rams to cover. You took the Niners +3 out of fear.
I won is what I'm hearing out of that.
Yeah. You took that.
Thank you. That's two
enough.
so far. I've won the splits.
Yeah, it was
Keeping
all you.
track.
And I'll tell you why. Going into this
I already
game,
told you why.
I said San Francisco had not proven anything to me because I said they had not played a good team yet. I didn't believe any of the competition. I didn't believe anyone that they had gone up against. I didn't think they were as good as their numbers had showed. And to be completely fair, I think I was right in that. I think I'm still right in that they had not proven anything.
Rubin, you're wrong.
Prior to that. I think that's a fair assessment.
It's not fair.
The list of teams they had beaten before this Sunday: Tampa Bay,
right.
Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, with a bye in there.
Right.
They really hadn't beaten anybody.
Nope.
And going to Rams, I said this is going to be their test. We'll find out. Turns out the Rams might not be good this year,
and the Niners might be good.
The Rams have no O-line. They have no running game. You need those two things in order for play action to work, which is what Goff is perhaps the best in the league at. Those aren't there. Their defense, terrible. They're doing what they can with this latest.
Speaking of the defense,
with this latest little move here, they're trying to fix it, but it might be too little, too late.
I already told you I can't stand Marcus Peters.
Bye.
So I am very happy to see him leave town, go to Baltimore. Which, by the way, he will do just fine in Baltimore. He's going to get some picks out there because they're a better overall defense.
They got a good defense in Baltimore by name,
and we get. And major upgrades. Some say probably the best defensive back in the league. I don't know if he's that good, but he's one of the top 5 at his position, Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, he's overrated as a player, but his performances have been very good.
And he's got swag.
Yeah, absolutely. He's also got a big mouth and perhaps cost his team an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl when they went up against the Patriots.
That's not his fault. That's
you're blaming Blake Bortles?
I blame who was it?
14-point lead.
What's the coach name? They were afraid. Yeah, blame Blake. Throw the ball. They were afraid to throw it.
They would not throw.
That was pathetic.
I was disgusted. I pulled so hard for that.
That's pathetic.
I was so mad.
It's like playing Madden and turning on the accelerating clock and just running.
Yeah. Well, if the Rams are not a good team,
I never said that.
I'm based on their performance these last few weeks. First time they've lost 3 games in the Sean McVay era. If they're not a good team, which they very well may not be with no running game, no O-line, then this game doesn't count for the Niners as a measuring stick. Next week they get Washington. Does not count as a measuring stick. The following week after that, Carolina comes to town. We'll see then. Because McCaffrey is a measuring stick, so we'll find out.
They're good. They're good. They're really good.
Are you picking them to be a Super Bowl contender?
Yes.
You like them more than the Vikings?
No.
Oh, well, there we go. They're not
a
even Viking
contender
level
is
yet.
a contender.
making the divisional round doesn't count as a contender.
If you make the playoffs, you're a contender.
So that's as far. Would you pick them to beat Seattle in the playoffs?
If it's in Seattle, no.
The neutral site. Neutral site. I know it's not. It's a neutral site. Who's the better team right now? Who do you actually believe in?
I like Russell more than Jimmy, and that's the only reason why. Honestly, everywhere else,
right? Do you like them to beat the Saints?
In New Orleans, no.
But in
home field matters in football.
And what's up with your LA fans not showing up?
It's expected.
Speaking of LA fans not showing
up,
it's expected. I'll get to the Chargers in a minute. We'll get to that in a second.
It's expected.
It was a good game for the Niners. It was a good win. They played well. Like I said, I still don't think they've had any competition. I don't think they will till Carolina comes.
I don't think you need competition when it comes to beating up an O-lineman. I don't need the best guys to run over, and that's where they're making big plays.
Well, I mean competition in the sense of validating their success as a team. Because in the same token, the same vein, the Patriots to me haven't really beaten anybody. So it's hard for me to say they're this great, Goliath of a team when you haven't proven it in a sense, right? You have to have a measuring stick to actually compete against someone. So you're supposed to beat up on bad teams. They're doing that. The Niners are doing that. So congrats on that. Are you that good? We'll find out when you take on competition.
No, the reason why I disagree is because you have a way of measuring how good a team is when they beat up a team really bad and it's not close. If they barely win, you say, man, they're winning, but they're barely winning and they haven't played anyone. They're beating these teams and it ain't even really close. They beat the Rams and they look like the better team. They beat the Browns and it looked like the far superior team. I'm not going to mention the Bucks and Bengals.
Okay. Next game. Falcons going to the Bird's Nest there in Arizona, taking on the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm. What did we do? What was it?
Atlanta. You took Arizona to win and cover. You took the points to Arizona. Atlanta missed an extra point. Matt Bryant looked bad at the end of the game.
That's another W.
It is another
I'm
W.
doing all right.
It's turned out well for you. These afternoon games turned in your favor. I will say this. The Atlanta defense might be one of the worst defenses in football. I keep thinking every week that they're going to find a way to get it together, and they don't.
No.
They keep finding a way not to get it together. How much longer can the coach survive? They're 1-5.
So I'm at Buffalo Wild Wings like I normally am, and I'm hearing some Falcon fans.
Not a sponsor, but they could be.
I'd be fine with that. Hearing that they're calling for the head coach to be fired, and what's his name? I see it's the bald head guy for the Falcons.
Former
Dan
Seahawks,
Quinn. Dan Quinn. They say it's Dan Quinn's fault. Get Dan out of there. I'm looking at the games and I say, man, they have no old line. But you know what? That defense does look really bad.
Didn't he come in for defense? Wasn't he the Seattle?
Yeah.
It reminds me of Mike Tomlin coming in with defense to Pittsburgh, and their defense is terrible.
Yeah.
They look bad. Matt Ryan, who I had to go up against this week in fantasy, keeps throwing for 7,000 yards a game because that's all they can do. They can't run, and it's frustrating. It is frustrating to see this team flounder in such ineptitude. I don't know what they're going to do to turn it around. Those have to be some of the most disappointed fans in the sports world right now there in Atlanta because of the performance of this Falcon team. Were the Braves in the playoffs? And are they out of the playoffs at present?
Both comments are accurate.
Yeah, those fans. Unbelievable.
St. Louis Cardinals eliminated the Braves.
There it is. There you go. You know what? A silver lining to everything. Atlanta, sorry for you guys. T.I. hasn't released an album in a while. It's a bad time to be a supporter of anything Atlanta related. Good win for you. Let's go to the game, what I'm going to call perhaps the biggest game of the year. Thus far. I'm going to call this perhaps the biggest game of the year because I had dynasties falling this year, coming into this season.
What are you talking about?
The New York Jets.
Oh.
And the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
When I bravely, with such testicular fortitude, said, I'm taking the New York Jets, Le'Veon Bell, and Darnold Schwarzenegger. This Jets team is the team that I predicted would upset the Patriots and claim the division as their own. And if it hadn't been for Sam Darnold hanging out around high school parking lots and catching mono, we would have been 5-1 going on to take the Patriots on this Monday night and getting a W. This season has not gone as expected because they had no backups. Great victory, but this game went just like I expected. This game happened just like I predicted. Another touchdown for Le'Veon Bell. That's a touchdown in every game that Sam Darnold has played. And the passing game came to life. Hello, Robbie Anderson. Hello, Jamison Crowder. Hello, Demaryius Thomas. I mean, they were tremendous in every facet of the game, except closing it out at the end. Can they please stop the Cowboys? Le'Veon and I were just holding our breath on the sideline for that 2-point conversion. And thankfully, things went right. So I feel great. I feel great. You foolishly took the Cowboys. I didn't know if I was talking to Psycho Gino or Skip Bayless. You fall in line behind Dallas.
If you remember correctly, we were talking as we made these selections, and then I ended up persuading you to take your team. You said, you know what? I'm going to live a little something along those lines. And then you decided to take the Jets. So drop this testicular fortitude and all that jazz. That's not what happened.
That's not what the betting ticket says.
What does the betting ticket say?
It says I took the
There's no
Jets
scribbles?
to
There's
win.
no scribbles there?
No scribbles. There's a scribble, but it's irrelevant. I have the scribble. Don't worry about the scribble.
I know, because you
I had
took
New
them
York
later.
originally. Then I went with Dallas and scratched it out. Then I went back to New York.
Exactly.
You almost convinced me to go Dallas, but I believed
What
in
did
my
I
heart.
do? What did I do?
You took Dallas and you took Jets to cover.
Bam.
So you got half of a victory.
Bam, I'm fine with that. 0.5 is good with me.
Yeah, 7.5. I told you, way too many points. What's wrong with the Cowboys?
Nothing.
No Amari Cooper going forward for probably a week and then a bye. That quad injury, a thigh bruise.
I'll say this, and I'll say this honestly. Nothing is wrong. They're just getting beat by better teams.
You ain't lied yet, folks. You ain't lied yet.
As simple as it is.
Are they using Zeke enough? I still think they should check
They
down to a
use
more.
Zeke
He only
a
had
lot.
like 5 catches or something.
We had a side bet. What was the side bet? Was there a side bet?
No, this one. Oh, it was a Fournette, whether or not he was going to get over 11 points.
Did we already go over the Jags?
We went past the Jags in New Orleans. Fournette, in fact, did. He had 17 points in this game.
Bam, baby.
6 catches for 46 yards.
Bam, like I
His
said.
catches this season have been off the charts.
Told you start Fournette, man. You
It was
start him.
It was a good decision. He played great. He played great. Not as good as the Jets played as a team, but whatever.
Yeah, I got Robbie. I started him. I'm just happy about that.
Are you expecting next week?
Yeah, I'm starting
Here
him.
come the Patriots.
Now they Darnold, so yeah, I'm starting him.
I'm nervous about Robbie next week.
Well, you know what? Don't get me. Why?
The Patriots have a way of taking away certain players. I think if they're pressuring Darnold, it's a Jamison Crowder, who is their number one receiver. I think it's a Jamison Crowder, Le'Veon Bell game. They're look at screens and short passes. That's just how I believe.
I hope that's true, because that means Belichick will put Gilmore on Crowder and Robbie can have a day.
If you think that he can get past the over-the-top coverage,
I do. Robbie's fast.
All right. I don't doubt his speed. I doubt Darnold's ability to have time to wait. And I said the pressure coming in makes me nervous. They ate the Jets up when it was Luke Falk at quarterback, and I get it. It's Luke Falk, so you don't care. But
Nope.
the O-line is the same. Le'Veon Bell had nowhere to run during that game. I mean, you just take one safety back, and you're good. Instead of bringing 11, you just bring 10. I mean, that kind of situation. We'll see. They'll have something cooking up. And I might, sneak peek to the listeners, I might be taking the Jets on Monday.
We'll see.
We'll see. Next game, Tennessee, Denver. Any thoughts?
What did I do?
You took Denver. I took Denver. We also took them to cover. Oh, this was easy.
So then there you go.
This was an easy.
What do you mean?
Just as, and you know what? You know what? I was gonna pass it to you. I want to take it back real quick. I'm gonna come at a couple people. I need to get up on Twitter because a couple people hit me up about a week and a half ago for my Mariota hate. They were all up in your boy's DMs.
You were kind of mean to Marcus.
I said he wasn't as good as Mark Sanchez, and people came at me. They were coming at your boy's neck.
It sounds bad.
It sounds bad when you hear it out loud, but sometimes you got to say the things out loud. Sometimes they have to be said. Marcus Mariota is a bum. He's not a leader of men. He's not a good quarterback. He has no pocket awareness. He has no mobility. He has no accuracy. The only thing he has is a paycheck from the salary of an NFL quarterback. That's it. And he doesn't even deserve that. He shows up at the bank, and they should be like, how'd you get this? They shouldn't give him special treatment. He should have to stand in line, just like everyone else. They should pay him in paper checks, make him go to the bank. How is this guy? He was replaced by Ryan Tannehill, the worst quarterback in football, because he's one of the worst leaders of men. It's befuddling that Tennessee sticks with him when he's shown less promise than Jameis Winston.
Why do you hate Marcus and like Jameis so much?
Because Jameis produces. That's why. Jameis produces.
What do you mean? Did you see this past? Oh, you mean garbage time? Get this out of here, Ruben. You're counting garbage points and counting.
You know what I use? I use what I call the eye test.
He ain't passing that.
I watched the eye test, and Jameis looks like there's potential for something there
because he can actually pass the ball.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, my
Because he
God.
can actually pass the ball. That's exactly right. It's why you're taking Markelle Fultz, and I'm looking at Seth Curry like, well, maybe there's something there. Marcus Mariota is a nice guy. He represented the region of Hawaii well. It's time for him to go back to the islands and say aloha to his NFL dreams.
No, you got to
He's
cash
not
in
good
them
enough.
checks.
Let me ask you this. Will they ever win a Super Bowl with Marcus Mariota?
No.
Will anybody win a Super Bowl with Marcus Mariota?
Man, you never know. If they cut him, he goes to the Patriots. Tom Brady goes down.
He'll find a way to lose. I don't believe in him. I don't think he's a quarterback.
At that point.
I don't even know if I believe in Bill at that point. He's the worst. He's the worst. Congrats to the Broncos for laying the smack down on the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, they did.
Derrick Henry, where were you? Nowhere. I mean, the Broncos looked good. In spite of these rumors about possible Cam Newton trades coming to Denver, I thought they looked okay. So we'll see what happens as the game goes forward. But there's not much to eat there. There's not a lot of meat on that bone. I just wanted to take time to hate on Tennessee for a second and Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, just Marcus, not Tennessee. Tighten up!
And now we come to the creme de la creme. Now we come to the best game for me. Pittsburgh against those traitorous Los Angeles Chargers.
Wait, who'd you take?
We took LA to win.
And
then I took LA to cover. You took Pittsburgh plus the points because he cowered it out.
Bam. So I get a half right again.
Yeah.
This sounds amazing for me, by the way. I'm not really keeping track, but it sounds like I won.
It sounds like you did a lot in the afternoon, evening games.
It sounds like I won. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what it sounds like.
We'll see.
We will see. Here's what I saw going in. I told you I took the Chargers because they had a 13th string quarterback starting at quarterback for Pittsburgh.
You said you were going to be playing quarterback is what you said.
They texted me, asked me to come. I told them I was busy recording a show. I couldn't make it. Okay, I didn't want to be out there for that game. I didn't realize that everybody else in the city of Pittsburgh had also been invited to the game to play quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
And they showed up.
Yeah, they did.
I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh West.
Terrible towels.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. And I'm hearing reports now that they were also playing Pittsburgh Steelers music to enter the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Whatever their Enter the Sandman or whatever it was, that's the Steelers music. They were playing that out of the speakers.
Aren't you, honestly, when I hear about stuff like that, I'm amazed. I just can't. I admire it. I admire it.
The fandom?
The fandom.
I would, except I'm from San Diego. And the problem is that there's never been a loyal fan in San Diego. Fair weather fans is all San Diego has when things are going good.
But they're not in
strong.
San Diego anymore.
Yeah, but I've never known it. See, you've come from St. Louis, where you have loyal fans. You got the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the city turns red for that time of the year.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they're red right now. The fact of the matter is, you come from a place where fans are loyal to the team. I come from a place that is it's a military town. A lot of transplants here. There's no real, a union. Even when the team was great, there was still a strong contingent of the enemy, even here in San Diego for every game. Raider fans are deep here. Bronco fans, Chief fans, Packer fans, Steeler fan, Cow. Like there's never really a deep covered home game. So I've never known what it's like to have a loyal fan base. The Padres have been trash forever.
Yeah.
So again, no loyal fan base. So I don't know what that's like. So I can't even admire it. I can only be disgusted by it when I see other teams just march in.
I admire it.
And this bum franchise couldn't even fill out the stadium to start the game. They got 13 fans in that arena, and they're planning on going to this 100,000 seat stadium
that the Rams building. Yeah.
It makes no sense. This is going to be the biggest embarrassment in the history of the NFL, and I, for one, am glad to see it happen. And I'm begging for Mark Cuban to purchase this team and bring them back to San Diego, and let's end this embarrassment.
Better yet, come to St. Louis. I'll still root for my Rams, but the city needs football.
We need an AFC West team. So, I mean, we had 50 years in the city. I don't know if we can go there. You can take someone else. But bring them back to San Diego because I want to see the opponents play in the stadium. It's the only reason I even went to the game.
What do you mean? Why can't they play in St. Louis?
I'm not flying to St. Louis. That's too far of a road.
It's not for you. It's not for you. It's for St. Louis.
You guys had a Super Bowl championship team.
I was that night.
2 appearances.
Oh man, that was so nice.
Greatest
show on turf. Carry on.
You also launched the Patriot Dynasty. You choking dogs. If
that's
taking
the Raiders.
Of business,
that's the Raiders.
I'm pretty sure you guys were on the field.
I'm pretty sure the Raiders should have won.
I just remember you guys being out there when Vinatieri hit that kick. when Brady hit those 2 passes. When they were recording you guys up in the stands beforehand.
Exactly. They cheated.
Well, you didn't want to mention that earlier when I said Brady had cheated in his rings.
Brady didn't cheat.
Let's look at the final win total. We actually forgot to pick the Monday night game. I'm sure you would have taken Detroit, and I would have taken Green Bay. So if I added that,
I always say go Pack go.
that fair enough.
I feel like we did say go Pack go.
We probably did.
You
was
didn't
probably
write it down.
I just didn't write it down.
I remember saying go Pack go.
I don't know what the spread was. I assume I'm going to take W's for both of that. If that's the case, then it was a close game. Just picking wins. You won 7-8.
Wait, what? I only won by 1?
Yeah, you made some mistakes. The Jets and Cowboys cost you, and then we got a lot.
Wait, are you serious? I only won by 1?
We picked the same games like the all morning.
But there were some breaks.
Well, the coverage is where the break was. The breaks came in the 3-9 differential. You got
I don't count
spread
this.
different.
This cannot be accurate.
It's accurate.
I want that sheet of paper.
You can get
After
the sheet
this
of
show,
Aaron,
I want
back
the sheet
me
of
up on
paper.
this.
I want the sheet of paper. What about our side bets? You won
the side bets. You won
Odell.
2-3.
Okay, that
Diggs
sounds
and
right.
Fournette.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
certainly got the fantasy side bets, which is I know it's a good performance. We should do more fantasy side bets.
I'm winning, and I haven't lost. As I said, last thing I said was I'm going to win.
Here's the last thing I want to. We're at 55 minutes. We'll try to keep this under an hour. We're not going to make it. The game last night, Packers, Lions. What is your take on the officiating?
Oh, terrible. Just terrible. The call against Trey Flowers, that was not hands to the face when he was pushing the old lineman back.
Which time?
Both time. The hit. Honestly, live, the helmet to helmet, that one I'm okay with. When you see it live, you throw the flag. Afterwards, you see he was going for the catch. That one I'm okay with. But the hands to the face, that was a really, really bad call.
Did the Lions get robbed?
No, I think they lose anyways.
Thank you. Thank you. Like, no one thinks the Lions are going into Lambeau to claim first place in the division.
No.
Oh, the officials robbed us. Really? When you had to settle for 5 field goals, they robbed you? Put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
Hawkinson, hold on to the ball once. You'll be all right. I mean, they got lucky they were even in this game at all. Packers had 3 turnovers. I mean, Aaron Jones coughing it up.
Oh,
your boy
God,
having
Jones.
passes bounce off his face
what
mask.
What are you doing, Aaron?
Just
get some hands, bro.
Aaron just come on, man. It was the Packers probably should have won this game going away.
Yeah.
And they kept it close by their cavalcade of mistakes. People crying about the officiating gets to me. There's mistakes in every single game made.
Right.
Every single game has blown calls. Every single game has holdings that are missed. They have PIs that aren't called.
Right.
Helmet to helmets that maybe shouldn't be, and it changes the dynamic of the game when it happens for all the teams. A third down mistake in the first quarter is just as critical to me as a third down mistake in the fourth quarter by officials. And just because it's the final drive of the game that Aaron Rodgers is on, early on in the game he scores, and the whole fabric of the game changes. I think this is nothing. I think it's a nothing burger. I'm tired of people boo-hoo-hooing about it. Call the wambulance. Detroit, find a way to put it in the end zone. That's football. I mean, the Saints fans, the same thing. There's nothing I love more than watching Saints fans get robbed by the officials. So any chance there's a chance for that to happen, I'm pulling for it. But don't cry for the officials. Don't cry about penalties. I agree. The helmet to helmet, that's a bang-bang play, but you got to throw the flag live. And going forward, quick question.
Yeah.
This guy Lazard from Green Bay that Aaron Rodgers was speaking so glowingly of, is he the next Antonio Freeman?
Who?
Am I going too big to say that?
You are. Devontae is still around.
I don't know where Devontae is. Devontae's
He's on the sideline with a turf toe.
Man, he might have lost his job.
He did not.
He might have lost his job. He might have sat out too long and been in all kinds of trouble. I'm looking at this, the way Aaron Rodgers spoke glowingly about him after talking about, I've been watching him in meetings and Phil was sitting next.
Spoke this way about MVS and Geronimo.
So you're saying it's a nothing burger?
It's a nothing burger.
So you wouldn't even bother picking up the Lazard? I got to come with a nickname for him, too.
Am I in a 12-16 team?
This is a possibility. I mean, if Devontae Adams isn't healthy, it's certainly something to consider. I don't want to just...
You looking into picking him up right now?
I'm just looking to see what the schedule is right now. I think it's worth noting.
Oh, the Packers, I think it improves.
Oakland next?
Yeah.
At Kansas City?
Yeah.
At the Chargers?
Yeah.
So basically 2 home games in there. And then home to Carolina. There's 3 games for sure that are pretty good.
That's why I chose Devontae when I did.
Yeah. How's that working out for you the last couple weeks?
Ah, terrible.
Yeah. So go figure.
I'm winning in some leagues.
Right.
Because, receivers are replaceable. But
receivers are replaceable. Turns out good receivers aren't replaceable.
Early on,
right?
if you picked up Hollywood or Terry Or actually for the Raiders, Tyrell Williams has some games. You can get a receiver early in the year. Early. Week 1, week 2. That's about it.
If you find one early, you can get
Yeah.
it. But you know what? We're about to hit the hour mark. I want to go ahead and wrap this up. You have anything extra to add? Looking forward to this next week?
No, I mean maybe you'll win and the picks and the bets. And I need that sheet. I don't trust
You can get that sheet from Aaron. That is their job. Signing off, your boy Rubin.
It's like Gino.